Hey there, my friends. This is David Wood. I'm standing outside my home in St. George, Utah, and I wanted to bring you a message about how to set outcomes that will radically transform your life. So if you really want to get better results in your life, I want to suggest to you that you should do one thing. So you should pay attention to this video, because if you pay attention to this video all the way through, I'm going to give you the secret to not just thinking right about your future. I'm going to give you the secret to taking the future that you want and actually mapping it into a written process that's actually going to create that future. So we use a word that's a little bit different than goal setting, because goal setting doesn't always work, right? And what's that word we use? We use the word outcome, because an outcome is something that's going to happen, and goal setting is like, there's like a hockey goal, and sometimes you hit the goal and sometimes you miss the goal. So what's going to happen is you're going to get the result that you want if you watch this video. So why should you pay attention? Well, I learned these strategies a few years back when I was struggling quite bad. And these strategies led me to finally having my first $3,500 a month, and this is, at the time it was network marketing. And then I later used these strategies to get on the internet and then take those same principles I learned offline. And then I started making $30,000 a month. These were just selling products and really helping people with a lot of different various things. And so I really want you to pay attention to this video. Again, this is the second part of the series. I'm going to teach you how I did all that. So basically, what did I learn? Well, let me tell you a story back in 2009 that really made me have a breakthrough. See, I was really looking for something to change my life because I was in the band that I told you about in the last video. And then what I did was I turned to the internet and I said, how can I make money online? And then I started doing searches. I started asking questions about how I could get lots of money on the internet. And then I stumbled across something called attraction marketing. Basically, it gave me the missing part of the formula that I needed to actually complete the puzzle of how to do things that turn into really big things on the internet, because everybody was doing it wrong. See, everybody was teaching me, David, go wander around in street corners, go door to door, go to Walmart, and talk to people everywhere you go. And although those strategies worked, and I got results by doing those strategies because I was quite good at them because it was all that I knew, I really didn't have any leverage, and I still was struggling with people skills. And so I needed a way, because I was more of an introvert and I didn't really like doing these things anyway. I needed a way to get the people coming to me, asking me questions, and literally begging me to join. Like literally, they needed to be pulling out their credit cards and begging me to join my products and to join my opportunities and to join whatever it was that I was doing at the time. They needed to literally beg to join is what they needed to do. And so I just wanted to repeat that because I think it sounds funny, right? But I just needed to figure out how to make this happen. So then attraction marketing, where does it come from? Well, it comes from originally Dan Kennedy. I think that it doesn't really come from Dan Kennedy. I think Dan Kennedy first explained it well in a way that normal people understand, with magnetic marketing. And then Mike Dillard made a thing called magnetic sponsoring for the network marketing industry, which I actually got a long time ago. And then I just didn't use it when I was building my business on the internet. And then later I figured out how to use it, right? So, and then there's a bunch of systems that came out that taught people some really valuable skills. And those skills that they taught were things like, you don't want to go around recruiting people that don't do business with you, because it makes no sense. In other words, if you go and you look at somebody who's really successful in like a big picture, and I'm gonna get into outcomes and how this all fits together in a minute. I'm just telling you a story, okay? If you go into if you go out there and you study what people actually do who really build big businesses, what they do is they lead with some kind of low front end product, and a low front end product that they lead with on the internet, it could be something, for example, like a $7 report. Locally, it might be, so for example, a doctor has his clients that pay him for services, and he knows lots of other doctors, so he's got this giant network of people that essentially trust him with money. And so what most people do, and this is where they fail, is if they get into a business and they try to pitch the business they could be trying to pitch it to investors, they could be trying to pitch it to friends and family, they could be trying to pitch it in the shopping malls. It really doesn't matter where they're trying to pitch it. The fact is they're taking an idea, right, and they're bringing it in front of somebody who's not actually ready and warmed up for that idea, because that person isn't already doing business with them. So this idea really resonated with me, because this is essentially what I was doing wrong. I was running around, I didn't have real relationships, I didn't know how to build real relationships, and so I was pitching everywhere I went. And then this secret actually solved my problem, and I learned how to take that secret and apply it into any kind of a business. And then after that point in time, I've helped people start companies that do tens of millions of dollars a month in sales. I started my own company that did $200 million. You know, I've got a lot of the most famous billionaires, you know, who follow my stuff and actually watch my videos, and they read all my blog posts and things like this. And so I really have a lot of knowledge that can help you. So if you're not interested in being a billionaire or a millionaire, these strategies are really going to help you get results. So this isn't just going to be about outcome setting. I'm going to talk about outcome setting, and then I'm going to give you principles on how to take these strategies and actually apply them into your business. And I'm going to be drawing out a little bit more of the process today, because if you don't have a clear process to help your brain understand how this all fits together, then you're not really going to be able to make money, and you're not going to really be able to profit from whatever it is that you do for the rest of your life. And if I can't help you do those things, then maybe you won't decide to join the Kingdom Club. And so it's of utmost importance to me that I actually help you to create the results that you want, and to create the strategies that you want, and to create the businesses that you want in your life, okay? And in order to create those businesses, and in order to create those strategies, right, I've got to teach you step by simple step exactly what to do. And so I hope that makes sense. So I discovered something when I found this. So I joined this business, and then I had these strategies from this course that I'd studied in 2007 or something like this. It really taught me how to up my people skills game. It really taught me how to create deep interpersonal connections. It really taught me how to lift people up, and most importantly though, it taught me how to set intentions, and it taught me how to set outcomes in a different way. See, I was always used to setting a goal. The goal is like, I'm gonna, one day be a millionaire, or like I'm gonna be a millionaire 5 years from now on this day. And this is the way that people set goals. And they write them down, and there's an infinitely greater amount of power that a person has when they write goals like this, and they actually set these goals and they write them down, and they don't. Right? There's actually studies where people have been at universities, for example, and they followed the people that had clear written plans and goals. Okay, so it wasn't just a goal, it was a goal and a clear written plan on how they're going to do it. Over the course of like 30 years, and 30 years later, these people, there's 3% of the people that actually had clear written plans and goals for what they wanted to do. And 30 years later, this 3% was actually worth more financially than the remaining 97%, I believe it was like the graduating class of Yale. So setting clear outcomes and setting clear goals is incredibly important. Nothing's going to do more for your future than setting clear goals and outcomes. Of course, I promise that all these things are going to be congruent with the Bible, and I don't really even need to talk about this so much, because all the way through the Bible you have examples of people that are clear planners and thinkers that end up taking over civilizations. You have empires collapsing from people that planned poorly and things like this. And so this is going to be something that's primarily going to be focused on creating outcomes and clarity. And it's really, really, really important when you're creating a goal that, number one, it's clear. Okay, and the reason is because, again, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Okay, ask and you shall receive is another reason to create clarity. Think about when you're creating clarity, that one of the things that you're doing when you're creating clarity is you're creating an alignment with the universe, alignment with your higher power, alignment with God, right? Where you're writing down a really specific thing that you're going to accomplish in your life, and that's like a prayer request. You can even think about it like that. So how can your higher power, how can God even help bless you if you don't even know what you want, right? There's actually a scripture in James that says, you ask not because you receive not, or you ask amiss that you might consume it upon your lust. So we want to be careful with that too. However, if you don't ask, you're not going to receive. So part of the process of asking, this comes from, for example, that movie The Secret's a fantastic movie. I like the biblical law of attraction stuff a lot better because I think it's more balanced and complete, right? I think Torah-based attraction is wealth attraction is obviously works the best because the richest person in the world right now is Jeff Bezos. I think that says a lot about that. Jeff Bezos is obviously a Jewish billionaire, right? And then you got the central bankers and all this stuff. So all this stuff is principled, and we'll talk about this as we come. The point is that you got to get clear, and you got to ask, and you got to receive, and you got to follow the universal laws. Does this make sense? And so you can't even follow the universal laws, and you can't even go and create what it is that you want to create in your life. It's not even possible to even follow these universal laws. You can't even literally follow them now if you don't have some sort of a clear plan and some sort of actionable process to engage in, to actually engage with those universal laws with all of your heart, with all of your intention, and with all of your energy. So So we go back to intentions. You set an intention. I'm going to create a sales video series that gets 33.33% of the people that opt in to this site to buy the Kingdom Club. That's what I'm going to do. And so I'm going to do that through this process of giving lots of value, and I help you get what you want. People will obviously buy my products and services. This is the way that e-commerce actually works, okay? And so that's what I'm going to do in this series. There's all sorts of things that happen. So now what I need to do, now I need to set a more clear a more clear outcome for, what's a result that I'm going to create from that, or what's a future that I'm going to create from that. So for example, a clear outcome would be describing an amount of money that you're going to make in the future that actually makes sense with the business model that you have, right? And I like an initial amount of money to be, the first time you do it, I think is good to have, I'm going to make this much money from the customers of my products, okay? If you're promoting a business opportunity, because a lot of my followers are like network marketers and people, that are business people, and stuff like this. So, if they're doing a different kind of business and they like to pitch opportunity, I like starting people even in those kinds of businesses where you set an outcome to say, before I continue and before I really start taking my business off, I'm going to make X, Y, Z amount of money. It could be $500 a month even, or $1,000 a month, something realistic, right? It's believable for them from just customers, just people buying the products, and that way the new person is focused on actually doing what makes money in business, which is actually selling the product, right? And so you set an outcome for what you're going to create, and it should be clear, it should be time specific, so it should be clear, it should be time specific, clear, time specific outcome, and the next rule, so clear, time specific, and it should be vivid, sensory descriptive, okay? So vivid, sensory descriptive, and it should be like you're in the memory. So in other words, it's like you're in a memory in the future, okay, where you're living this outcome, where you're living this dream, where you're living this energy of this thing that you want to create, of this thing that you always dreamed of. Like, so for example, I always dreamed of making $30,000 a month and moving to Costa Rica. So when I got started, back to my story, in this van, I moved up to my parents' house, and I set a really, really clear outcome. I had whiteboards all the time. I was drawing stuff. I had little things, little pieces of paper where I was drawing, and I was just sitting there like all day obsessing over the plan. I made a really clear plan for that I was going to do it. I mapped it out in my journals all day. I tapped into my emotional energy, and I tapped into my state, and I said, it's going to happen. That's it, period, right? And then I was really descriptive, like, when I make $30,000 a month, I'm going to move to Costa Rica, and I'm going to live on the beach, and I'm going to get rich for the rest of my life. So that's actually what happened. See, this is when I actually really got everybody involved involved in that movement. Is what happened is that I went out to make $30,000 a month. Okay, and that's actually what the initial goal that I have right now was over a period of 90 days to get this little project that I'm working on right now from essentially zero, because I put a lot of content on it, but I just am now building the systems and the products and everything like that for what I've been working on for the last couple of years. So I had to, think through it. I'm a very clear thinker, right? And so I've got a plan and everything for how I'm going to do that. And you're going to see me planning it actually in this video. So what I'm going to do, let me see what time it is. Is I'm going to go from zero on this little project that I'm running right now, all the way up to $500 a month, $1,000 a month, to $30,000 a month. It's going to be very easy for me to do because I know what I'm doing, and everybody loves my content, right? And so you're going to see me do that, and actually you'll be able to learn how to do that, obviously, in whatever business that you're in or whatever job that you're in, how to get to the next level or how to get to the next prosperous level in your own business, because I'm selling real products, books, real valuable content and things like this, and you're going to get to see step by simple step how I'm actually going through this process in this video series, because I'm starting it from zero for the intention. So the intention, first of all, is to create a system that sells constantly, like a constant amount, and then you go from the constant amount to, you say, all I need to do is then bring in 5-6 customers a day. Very simple to do that through some advertising and stuff like this. Techniques I'll show you later in this free series. Right, and in particular, when you buy the Kingdom Club, of course, I'll share you these things, the Fast Start training, or how to do this, and you just go. Basically, what you do is you create marketing that goes in, and then basically we have the process that helps people make a decision to buy the Kingdom Club. Essentially, they make a decision. Essentially, what they do is they make a decision to buy the Kingdom Club. They make a decision to buy the Kingdom Club. It's essentially what they do. I don't know if that makes any sense that they make a decision to buy the Kingdom Club. If I've said that enough. So in any case, what happens is that I made this really clear. It's like I'm going to be on the beach, sinking my toes into the hot sand in Costa Rica, making $30,000 a month. Right? So what I'm going to do is make $30,000 a month this time. Make $30,000 a month this time. What I'm going to do is, well, I'm going to do several things first. I got to clean up some stuff and things like this in my life. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make $30,000 a month, and then I'm going to take that money, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to also form an investment company. And from the investment company, I'll start, also making $10 or $20 or $30,000 a month from investing. So I'll start doing that, and then I'll live off my investments, and then what I'll end up doing is I'll end up starting to buy real estate properties and things like this. And of course, I'll also buy a mansion down there in Costa Rica. I've already got a plan for the house that I want to buy out in Costa Rica, which is the one that I lived in with my wife shortly after we were married. So in any case, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go $30,000 a month, then $50,000, then $100,000, then $250,000 a month, and everything like this. And it's not all going to be from this project. This is going to be a model that I'm building. And when I build this model here on this blog, we can utilize this model then to help other people get the results that they want to get actually in their business from an even better series that will make for them in the business. And so that's actually the purpose of this, is building a model. So I'm building a model that can help. So now we have a clear outcome. Isn't that clear? Right? You say $30,000 a month. Yeah, okay. Now we're starting to describe a little bit, but it's not perfectly clear. It's not perfectly clear. So what you want to do is, we want to do a little assignment. And what we're actually going to do, we're going to do it together. It's going to be a little bit of a different assignment than I've ever given for, and I want to make it a little bit more clear. So I used to teach people something. It's like, this is how you set a clear outcome. You imagine yourself in the future. Let's say, September 15th this next year, you want to make $1 million between now and September 15th next year, which is totally actually possible for somebody who's really clear, has a really clear plan, and knows what they're doing. Right? They take a little bit longer for somebody who knows what they're doing. It's very actually possible for somebody to make $1 million by September 15th next year. So if you say, I want to make $1 million between now and September 15th next year, so I want to make $1 million between, and I'm going to do it, that's it, period. I'm going to make $1 million between now and September 15th next year. I'm going to make way more than that, but I'm going to do, you say that's the goal, right? So I'm sitting here, I'm logged into my bank account, I have $1 million, I actually have $1 million in profit, so I actually paid my expenses, I paid for my traffic, I paid for my employees, I paid for all this stuff, and I actually have $1 million in profit from my businesses and investments that I've made, that's my money from my pocket between this point right now and September 15th, 2020, which would be next year is the time I'm making this video, but if you're seeing it later, it could be 2021, whenever it is that you're seeing it, right? So you say, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at my bank account, I have $1 million in profit in my business account that I'm just hitting the transfer button to my personal account, and I just transferred it in, the accountants approved the transactions, profits from my business. It's transferred over into my personal account, and this $1 million is mine. I've already got the house that I want to live in. I've already got the car that I want to live in. It's this kind of particular car. Let's say it's a red Ferrari, okay, or it's a Hummer. I like Hummers because they're very safe. So it's like a Hummer or something like this. Live in this car. I'm driving this Ferrari, this red Ferrari, up to my new house, and I'm sticking the key into the new door that I just actually took that $1 million. I made a down payment for this house. The down payment for this house was like $250,000. And it's a massive house. It's a multi-million-dollar mansion. It's got like multiple stories in it. It's got like 10 different rooms. I mean, the sinks are made with gold in it. I mean, I'm really fantastically wealthy and rich, and it was so easy to get here. And I'm standing here and I'm looking out my window, and the sun's going down over my swimming pool in the house that I'm in. Right? So we're going to go ahead and do a writing assignment where I want you to write something like that. Make it like a little paragraph. I want you to pause the video, okay? And I'm going to go in. I'm going to do the assignment. I want you to write half of it with your right hand, and then I actually want you to take the other half and write it with your left hand. You say, what's the purpose of the left hand? You're getting your right brain energy. You're trying to feel the emotion when you're writing it, and then when you write it with the left hand, okay, write with the left hand, it just puts a different side of the brain into it. So feel the emotion. It take you a little while to get the left hand. So write half of it with your right hand, half of it with your left hand. I'm going to go do the assignment actually right now, okay? And then I'm going to share it with you, okay? And then we'll proceed to the next part of the training. Appreciate you. Hey there, my friends, this is David Wood, and I'm sitting here finishing off this video series on outcome setting. And let me share with you what I did, and I'm going to have some stuff out here on my wall. You guys can see this is, not my wall, this is going to be my whiteboard, right? So it's my wall whiteboard. Anyway, so I'm going to read you what I said, and then I'm going to map out to you on how to create it and give you some assignments that I want you to complete before tomorrow. These videos are going to go out, they're going to go out every 24 hours, okay? And so I want you to make sure that you're watching one of these videos all the way through every day, because this is a 17-day prosperity series. Think about it like a boot camp of success that's based in the Bible. Okay, so again, this is biblical success. We talk about asking, receiving, whatsoever you ask, that shall you receive, right? Or all the scriptures, they say these things, right? You ask not, or if any man lacks faith, if any man lacks wisdom, let him ask in faith. That giveth all men liberally, that upbraideth not. And if any man lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth all men liberally, that upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Right? So that's just wisdom, let alone wisdom also receiving things. So there's also receiving things that are there for prosperous energy, because you desire to give, not just because you're consuming all your loss, because you really desire to be a giving member of society, a prosperous member of society that gives back. Like, for example, Mark Zuckerberg, they're letting give like 90% of their life, their wealth away, and things like this. And so, first of all, we did the outcome assignment. So part of it was with if you didn't do it, please pause the video. I want you to complete the actual assignment. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you. This is mine, and I'd love it if you would share your outcome in the comments of this video. Okay, so just share in the comments what your outcome was in the series, and I encourage you to comment, obviously, on every single day of the series and everything like that, and engage on my blog. It's very interesting. So my outcome is to spend this year Christmas Day with my wife Priscilla and Gabriel and Amy. What's my name? Gabriel. I love you guys. Priscilla, Gabriel. It's December 25th, 2019 at 9:15 a.m. and we are in St. George, Utah together, holding hands and watching kids open presents. You see how detailed this is? Right? She is happy, and I am happy, and I cannot believe how easy this was to accomplish. As I stare at her, she shines with the radiance of the sun, and it is like the world is shouting, David is back, and great peace is coming to earth. I then log into my email account, see $10,000 in commissions which have stacked up in my bank account, and my wife and I book a trip to Paris and Jerusalem for our money. This is how So this is how I did it. This is how I ended, right? So this is actually, I did this training before. It was a $1,000 product where I taught this originally, and I really like giving a majority of my strategies away for free. The reason is because I like to, have high value for our customers, if that makes sense. And so obviously our products that we have here at Teachings of King David, they have lots of things. So I'll talk about the Kingdom Club here in a minute, but this is how I did it. Let me describe to you where this comes from. So this actually comes from an assignment. Check this out. If I taught you how to do something, in a way, I actually learned this from NLP training. Right? My brother developed this technique as well. My brother is a hypnotherapist. He runs Northern Utah Hypnosis. If you ever need hypnotherapy or something like that, we offer strategies as well with people. So I'm going to stay focused on what we're doing, but my brother is a hypnotist, and I've mentioned many times he's the incarnation of Buddha on the earth right now. So, my brother is very, very, very good at creating instantaneous change in people, like very good at creating instantaneous change. He creates instantaneous change, just like that in other people. He creates change instantaneously, just like that in people. When he works with people, he creates change in them like that. And so when I learned that strategy, from him, so he basically, this is what he told. So I'm gonna tell this story. So he and a guy hit him up on Facebook, and this guy was one of these guys from some weird country in Africa. I don't remember which one. And he was hitting people up on Facebook asking them for like $100. He's like, "Can I have $100?" And my brother Will thought it was a scam. It was like this guy over there, and he's like, "Well, what for?" And And the guy said, well, I need $100 to buy a watermelon field, because if I have a watermelon field, I can make more money every day than I make in a month right now. So I can have a watermelon field. My brother was like, here's a guy that checks out. He gave him this strategy. The strategy that I'm going to give you right now. You already completed part 1. And part 2 is kind of, here's what he said. He said, okay, what you want to do, you want to write an outcome. You describe it like this: present state, time dated, stamped, emotional energy, and then this is how I did it. And he said, what I want you to do is after you say this is how I did it, I want you to make a list of 1 to 100. And make a list of 1 to 100 items that you completed to make that happen. He says, I can't give you $100, but I can give you that strategy. And then you're welcome to contact me back at any time once you've done it. So check it out. My brother didn't hear from me again for like 5 years. It was a true story. Something like 5 years later, this guy hits him back and he says, I just want to thank my mentor, Will. He says, who are you? And he says, you remember? The watermelon guy. He's like, oh yeah. How'd that work out? And he says, I'm a multi-millionaire and I own an interstate road building. He's worth like $7 million. Think about that. What that can do for people in the world. If you just share this with me. You know what I mean? Think about how powerful. So, Interstate Railroad Company. Okay, Interstate Railroad Company. This Interstate Railroad Company. I mean, we're talking about like this is big stuff. This is like billionaire level stuff. So I mentioned this before because this is my outcome. It'll happen. That's it. Period. Okay. And then what happens? What happens to you if something you write like this doesn't happen exactly when you want it to happen? Well, what happens is that you do it again, and you can course correct. There's nothing wrong with failure. What's wrong is giving up. Right? Never give up on your dreams. Never give up on your dreams. Never give up on what you want in your life. Because if you give up on what you want in your life, then what happens is that you've already lost the war. Because the war happens inside. We battle not against flesh and blood, but we battle against principalities, against powers, against rulers, of kings, and societal systems, and tools of the devil. Well, this is what we battle. It's a spiritual battle. You conquer it on the inside, you conquer it on the outside. Make sense? So this is what you do. So now you write the outcome, and then you write the list to 100. And I want you to complete this assignment tonight. Yeah, right today. It might take you a little bit longer if you're busy or something like that. It's fine. But if you take maybe 2-3 hours, make a list. I'm telling you, you can come up with money, and you could create whatever it is that you want to create. You see how valuable this is now? If you imagine how valuable this is, imagine how valuable it is when you buy the kingdom. Make a decision to join. And once again, that'll come back to you in a multitude management of blessings because, I'm the Messiah name. So whether or not you believe that, it's fine. You're welcome to believe it. You want to believe it. Just enjoy the prosperity training of the kingdom. Take a while to wake up and make up your mind. And you're going to really, 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 really learn more than you've ever learned in your entire life about how to do things right. The first things. Right? So this has to do with building roots in the brain of what you want. So when you're writing, you want to tune into emotional energy, right? So for example, I tune into my heart. When I was born again, I was given a new heart. Right? This is my spirituality. Right? So if I was born again, and the Savior Jesus, he came, touched my head and everything. Right? When I was born again. I told you that many times. Give me the key of David. I talk about that before, right? It's not about what I got, it's about what you can. When you just say, I confess that Jesus died for my sins, and he sits at the right hand of God, Jesus, please save me. I call that the King David prayer. You get a new heart. And from a new heart flows a multitude of blessings. So I tune into this energy, I breathe into it. It actually makes goosebumps on my arm. I don't know. That'll take me further. Further form. This It's like me tuning into that like kinetic energy from the Jesus energy. And I tune into that energy when I'm writing these intentions. So I think about the intention. Maybe I stare at these photos. It's like my dream board. I'm actually going to put over my wall. I'm going to put prosperity images here. I'm going to put Buddha over there. I'll have an image of Krishna over there. Because I like all these, just multitude of things from multitude of different spiritualities that are going to come here. Because right now this is the world headquarters of Kingdom of Love, right? So people come in here all the time. And so what happens is then I put these images around, and then all of a sudden it attracts all these images, and then my brain has the ability to think about money again and all this stuff and prosperity. And so you get to really see me in an important time, because you're going to see me building this from zero. All right? Does that make sense? So you get to actually witness it as I'm building it. See, what the what I did. I'm going to talk about my blog a little bit later on in the next video. But one of the things that I didn't do right when I first started this blog was I started the blog and started talking about what I was going to do before I actually built the system to sell what I was going to do. Because I wasn't really sure how to sell it yet, and I wasn't really sure what people were going to respond to yet, and I had a lot of old energy and stuff like this I need to get rid of so it wouldn't work properly. And so right now I've got 2 years of content on this blog. It's the best blog I've read. This blog is read by billionaires, right? Like some real famous billionaires. Read all of it, probably. They read the stuff they're interested in, right? They like it because nothing's more useful than teaching them how to think about things. It's particularly the Jewish billionaires that love this blog. They love this blog. Potential breakers and stuff they found it. Mark Zuckerberg. Donald Trump reads my blog and this because they believe it. So my point is with this is that the most famous rabbi in America reads this blog. The blog has the best content ever. However, when I started it, I didn't build a system first to really explain what I'm doing and explain how it can benefit people like I'm doing right now. And so that system needs to be based on what other people want, not just what I'm thinking about. And so that's actually what I'm doing right now, because I know that all of you are very interested in prosperity. And so I went through this grade where it's like, I don't know this stuff about prosperity. Well, I had to rebuild the roots in my brain from something that happened a few years ago. I talk about my intelligence science. Okay. I had to rebuild my brain from something I discovered. It took me, a good 2 years to do. In that process, I had people leave me, my businesses collapse, everything like this. And I had to figure, it took me a long time to even be able to communicate my ideas like a normal person again. And that literally took me like a year, 2 years to be able to do. And so then my communication started getting exponentially better because I figured out how to regrow the brain. I'll teach you all this stuff, in this series, perhaps another series, right? I'll teach you some stuff. Right, I'll teach you some stuff, and one of my roommates is here, so I just want to say hello. And but she's here, so in any case, now I figured out how to communicate my message essentially. So I figured out how to communicate it, and I figured out how to get people to pay attention to it. I figured out how to get people to buy my products because people are buying my products now. And I figured out how to get clients because now I'm getting clients again. Now I'm helping people with, like, for example, supernatural healings. I do help with that. I can do a long distance, but better if people come here. I do prophetic work for people. People like want to, donate to my ministry in exchange for prophetic work or something like that because I don't have a lot of time. So, for example, I can do prophetic work for their businesses or whatever. Consulting, things like this. And so I'm starting to get clients and people come out of the woodwork and just say, hey, David, can we give you more money to help us to really prosper? Because the money just flows back to them in a multitude amount of blessings, right? Because you bless a prosperous man, you're blessed. So in any case, I had to figure this all out. Now you're seeing me, so this is building roots in the brain. So I had to retrain my structure in my brain to be oriented around prosperity again because I lost everything. I got very resentful. Have you ever lost everything? I think everybody in their life has lost something at one point or another, like I did. So I went and I did $200 million in sales and talked about all that, and I wasn't following Torah laws. So because I wasn't following Torah laws, my business collapsed. That's actually why that happened. And I didn't know that at the time, but I was raised I kind of did because I was raised by a righteous family. So a righteous family in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints doesn't necessarily teach Torah. They teach a higher version of Torah for them, right? And so that they don't honor all the Torah, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, like the feasts and the festivals, things like that. So they have their own Torah. They have the Torah for sure. So I was raised, and then I didn't do it. I didn't give, I didn't tithe, stuff like this. And so what happened is that, and I didn't talk about tithe as one of these daily principles, because I just didn't talk about it all the way through. If you don't give, I just read this quote from Buddha that said, if you know what I know about giving, you wouldn't even eat a meal without sharing with somebody. That's how powerful giving is. It's because giving is so powerful because of how it comes back to you. There's nothing that comes back to you more than giving. So this series is like giving my good heart, giving my energy. And I hope those of you that know me for a long time, you forgive me for the past, and those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay, you don't need to know about it because I'm a new energy now. And now you're seeing this version. And what the system does, let me explain it. So my blog was focused, I had to focus on a lot of weird stuff. And the reason is because I had to describe, for example, all the aspects of my consciousness and how they worked in order to fix all the problems of that thing that happened to me, where I talk about that on the immortality science page, right, where I by all means, I should have died, and I didn't, right? So you can believe whatever you want to believe on that. I talk about immortality science, and you can believe whatever you want to believe about it, but the thing is that I'm still alive when the brain grew back, right? But I had to fix all those things, and all that description of the spiritual universe actually helped me fix all of my thinking and be able to speak, helped me get to a space where I could actually speak normally again. So if somebody's brain is really destroyed at any time and I need to repair it, something similar might actually happen to me. Which is actually, it's actually okay. It's actually okay, right? And so, in any case, right, now I'm getting this space, now I'm building the system. So the system, let me explain how it's going to work on my blog. See, once you build a system on your blog that promotes all of your content into a centralized process, a centralized funnel, let me actually draw it out for you. And then I'm going to talk about how to do this science, this outcome thing, right? And I'm probably going to have one more video in this. It'll probably be, again, an hour. I don't know if I'm going to do an hour every day, but an hour every day is not going to be a bad idea for you for a while, because this is educational and sometimes you need time. And if it's too much time or something like that, you can, go to the YouTube. I showed you that MP3 downloader. You can download the audios of these. Or actually, I'll try to include the audios below the videos. Okay, so you can actually, get those audios below the videos. Okay. Hold on. Right. So let me erase this, and then let me draw to you what I'm doing. What I'm doing is actually going to make a lot of sense to you, okay? And then you can use this and you can take the strategy for your own business. Like if you have a business on the internet, this is actually how it works, all right? So now we're just going to erase all this stuff. We already got the outcome. We already talked about it, okay? So what I do is let's write the outcome out here again. So video number 2, right? I'm just going to write this again. We got outcome. All right, outcome. And then my outcome is to spend Christmas with my wife and kids, with wife and kids. And just pray for me that it'll happen if you're seeing this series, because I believe it can. Okay? And that's obviously her choice. If she wants to come up, and she can come up. You know what I mean? How many guys do you know that have a woman break up with them, and they just wait for 2 years without any sex? You know what I mean? Very few guys like that can keep it today, right? That's what the light energy is. You control yourself. I'm not worried about it, because I can have all the sex I want. I can go, if I wanted to walk up and just pick up chicks, I can just pick up chicks left and right like I used to do. You know what I mean? I'm over it. I'm trying a new way. I was, I overcame my sin. I overcame my addictions and stuff like this. So I need to demonstrate my character, right? So in any case, this builds trust over a long period of time, because you don't even know anybody that can do that. I'm doing it because I want, not because I have to, because I want. I promise you, I don't have to do that at all. Okay? So, here we go. We got, funnel. Okay? So what I do is I got blog traffic. The blog traffic, which is traffic is visitors to your website. This comes from Facebook, other blogs, right? Google, okay, retargeting, which I haven't really started yet because I don't have a system, so it wouldn't make any sense to do any retargeting. It makes makes no sense, right? All right, I'm almost done with this video, and then I gotta do another one. All right, I'm back. Again, we have this blog traffic that comes in through this other blog. This goes into blog posts, right? A blog post will then generally have a retargeting process. People opt in somewhere in that process. I'm not actually worried about if they do it immediately or not because my content is so interesting. People just keep coming back and people share it like crazy. When I post this content on Facebook, because it's so weird, right? All I gotta do is target all the hippies and stuff, and it's just goes wild. You know what I mean? It's just oh my God, what have I been reading my whole life? You know what I mean? It's because I got all the weird stuff on there. They love it. The weird stuff gets shared more than anything. I promise you that. There's nothing that gets shared like the weird stuff. Nothing at all, because people have never heard anything like it. And it's really long form content. So Facebook and Google, they love the content. Okay? So then SEO, right, would be an example of where this comes from and stuff like this, right? So I get the traffic, and right now my blog's not really getting a lot of traffic because I haven't really pushed a lot of traffic because I didn't have a system, so it didn't make any sense. I'm trying to figure out what people responded to. I figured out what people respond to. Now I got that down. Okay, it took me a long time to figure that out. And there was a way I could have figured it out a lot faster, but I had to go through my own spiritual healing process in order to get there. Okay, so this is I had to restore my old prosperous energy and then became new prosperous energy, and supernatural prosperity energy, which is way better than that. You know what I mean? I used to take caffeine all day just to stay awake, and now I just stay free completely, not really. So I just have the energy like that. It's fantastic. All right. So anyway, opt in, retargeting. They opt in, and then you have this value series, right? Value series indirectly. This indirectly sells. Okay. The Kingdom Club, right? So the Kingdom Club, and then I'll talk about this in list building. So I'm not going to go through all this right now, but I'm going to talk about all these strategies in the list building video, which is in a few videos or something. All right? I'll map it out, below the series and stuff like this. Yeah, so you can, I encourage you to print these off too. You can print them. There's a PDF button below. You can push the print button. You can print the PDF. Download PDF. Right, so indirectly sells, you take notes and stuff, and you write comments and stuff like that as well. So, and the audios and stuff you listen to your car, right? So then what happens is that people buy the Kingdom Club, and then obviously they've got upsells and stuff like this that are high value products that make sense to my customers. For example, I got a product called the School of Enlightened Prophets. The School of Enlightened Prophets teaches people to memorize the 613 mitzvot, which are the 613 commandments of the Torah, okay, through visual memory strategies that you can hold them all in your imagination at the same time. So it's amazing. Now, after, as of this series, I'm going to build this series out. I'm going to focus on the Kingdom Club, and then after I focus on that, I'm going to focus on the School of Enlightened Products. So it's actually not built. It's been something that I've been training people privately and testing for a while. And I teach people to predict the future and stuff really accurately. So in any case, and it's all based on understanding why things happen from the commandments that are actually in the Tanakh, which is the New Testament. So the New Testament understands grace, the Tanakh understands why grace is necessary and also why things happen. So basically, it's two different things, right? So I like the Old Testament stuff because it helps me. I never understood that. I just understood the New Testament stuff. So then what happens is that people turn into customers, and then this turns into leaders, and then this turns into affiliates. All right, this is a network marketing thing. This is just my blog. You know what I mean? I might make a network marketing thing, WordPress-like network marketing a little bit more or something like that. Right now it's not this people are all sorts of various things. It makes more sense. This way. Right, so then you have this affiliates, and then what happens is that people, they earn commissions. They earn commissions, the bottom, right? So then I earn commissions, and then they earn commissions by referring to my products, right? So this is actually what I'm building for my blog, right? Now that I'm explaining what I'm building for this, then what happens? Let me explain it. Then what happens is that all of my blog posts, for example, turn into, this is all, why am I talking about this in this video? I'm talking about this in the outcome video because part of your plan needs to have information that teaches you actually how to create the outcome, or the outcome actually doesn't make any sense, right? You can't actually create the outcome without the plan. This is actually we'll talk about vision and planning and everything like this in the videos, but more specifically, this information is going to help feed into, because I only got 12 minutes left to complete this video, right? This information is actually going to feed into basically, how to do everything, right? So this builds essentially a funnel system where the customers turn into more traffic, and those traffic, because they love the product so much, so because they love the product, they refer it to other people. That's actually why they do it. It's not because we're not teaching a product to sell the product, to sell the product, to sell the product like they do with our product. We have a product that gives value to everybody, and because it gives value to everybody, everybody wants to promote it. Now, it's also got the weird stuff. You say, well, why do I want weird stuff? Everybody loves weird stuff. Look at like David Icke, or things like this, and how famous these people are. Or David Wolf, and how weird he is, right? Everybody loves weird stuff. And so, I went after my friends and family with the weird stuff, and that didn't actually work out so well because profit's not profit. So town, I just walk around on the streets. Literally, I'm telling you, a third of the people that I run into just believe me on the spot like that. Because I explain things to them that could never be explained. It's like instantaneously, they know my voice, they believe me instantly. And then there's a good section, they get a little nervous, you know what I mean? They're a little worried. It's very cute. And then I just say, hey, read my blog for a while, and then they have to tone that energy down. Read my blog for a while. Right? Does that make sense? They tone the energy down if you read my blog for a while, because they see that what I'm saying is true over a long period of time, because they feel the burning of the Holy Spirit as they're actually talking, to me. They feel this guy's got the strongest spirit that I've ever felt in my life. I need to pay attention to this. I need to pay attention to what he's saying. It makes no sense for me to pay attention. Right? So, this traffic, then what it does is this jumps into, it creates what's called a reinforcement loop, right? And this is what I'm going to talk about. This reinforcement loop is what I'm going to talk about in the list building section. So in the list building section, I'm going to talk about this, but I got to get really educated on list building before I do that video. It's a very complex video just on list building. Like you've never had, like, this would be better at Big Sister's House's videos, if it's even possible. Okay, so this is, and he's good. I trained him, he trained me years ago. I trained Dave Sharp, legendary boxer. Tracy Lockwood, Stan, and all these famous people that you see on the internet, and all these other people bought my products, like Frank Kirk. All these people checked out what we were doing because we were doing so much more sales for them. And now a lot of them asked what we were doing, which is very good for them. I'm very excited about it. I'm very proud of them. No, because I'm not proud of anything. Pride is for a man is not healthy. I'm very humbled that I was a part of their lives. They were part of my life. And then they can go do their thing. Now here's the thing: we work together in the end, right? So what happens is that this loop then brings all the traffic back in, and then everybody starts earning commissions. Now let me explain what happens after this point in time that really makes everything sense. So you say, well, where's all this content? Well, now whatever I write about gets traffic to this system because everybody's interested in it. So whatever I write about that are maybe not everybody's interested in. So for example, the weird people are interested in the weird stuff. And then I write stuff that's talking about prosperity and then everybody's interested in that. So I balance it out with stuff like this. I write my book, Make America Righteous Again. So I've got Great Tribulation Scientifically Explained by King David. I've got The Theory of Quantum Mechanical Consciousness, Ancient Time. And then I've got Make America Righteous Again. Okay, so those three books, okay, the Make America Righteous Again was going to take off, so you get a book a month, and then we also do, like a training once a week, a Q&A, probably a Zoom hangout is probably what we do, Q&A on Zoom like once a week, right, and, or a training, it'd be a training or a Q&A or something like that once a week. The training, then we'll maybe do Q&A after that once a week, right? So we build people, and then basically some people might want to ask weird spiritual questions. You let them ask those questions, and we say, all right, so we got a section of this that's dedicated to whatever people want to ask, and then we've got a section that's dedicated to prosperity-based stuff, and that's the only thing that you're allowed to ask questions about is prosperity. And then what happens is that we focus, and now we're only allowed to ask questions on the business, so we do it in that, so then basically everybody can hear and ask questions about what they want. So, you get a book. So think about you're joining the Kingdom Club, you're making a donation, and then you get a free book. So we're just sending out because really it's a donation. Really, you're making a donation to the book. So you get the book, and you know, the next book is gonna be in wild. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna take me a little bit to complete, right? So you get the book once a month, right? Number 2, you know, training week. You know, number 3, okay, we'll give you an affiliate program, right? Affiliate program is you can refer traffic. You say, why would I do that? Well, it's so easy to take my weird content and to just run traffic to it and then link back to the blog. It's like it's the easiest. It is the easiest content to get shared that you've ever heard about in your life, no matter what you think about it. People are like, oh my God, they just share it with everybody and they like it and they've never heard anything like it, right? And you say, this person claims X, Y, Z, you know, and then, you know, what you do is you would write, you know, I put a link to, you know, something like, you know, a little bridge video of yours that introduces a post or something like this. And then what happens is that they go to the post and then they get into this thing and they get into this retargeting system and everything like this. And then what happens is that you're gonna make money from my books. Now, okay, so we're getting somewhere now. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay, so you know, just think about like affiliate commissions, and then you can take that money and you can build customer relationships with the customers. And then what you do with the customer relationships is you pick up the phone, you connect with your customers, and then you build a relationship because now you've got a customer that helps you, for example, build other businesses, start new things, and then we educate everybody on how to build things in a way like I've got a fast start training manual that is better. It's like 1,000 times better than any fast start training manual that has ever existed before for it. It is 1,000 times better. Okay, there's nothing that even is even remotely close. Nothing that I used to do was this close. Nothing that anybody did was this close. Okay, it is entirely new, and it is the best thing that you've ever been through. So we give you this as well as a video series called the 8 Core Commitments. The 8 Core Commitments basically is a culture system that basically helps you create your outcomes. Does this make sense? So we're going to help you create your outcomes with this culture system. Core Commitments. Now let me explain. So I built this, then what happens? Well, now all of a sudden, if I write a weird post, it drives traffic into this. If I write it drives traffic into this, etc., etc. So now we're back to outcomes. Now all of a sudden, we've got some strategy. We're going to talk about, you think this is good? Wait till the list. Wait till the list. This is just a preview for that. Hold on, let me actually tell you what the next video is going to be about. I think the next video is going to be about vision, right? So we're talking about outcome. Now we talk about vision, right? Because this helps people get in order and chunked up, right? Now let me go and see. So I got this list. Next video series, yeah, it's going to be. Hold on a second here. Intention, outcome, game plan. So the next one's going to be game plan. Okay, game plan. So this here, this is outcome. So this is outcome. The next one, we're going to teach you how to like a game plan on how to take your list and actually how to apply it. Okay, and I'll do that by sharing some of the strategies that I've got from my Fast Start manual that you're going to get when you join the Kingdom Club. And so the Kingdom Club, actually, you join it here, and then when I launch the Kingdom of Elohim, which will also have that product, but it'll have it in a more generalized way, because with the Kingdom of Elohim, I'm not going to necessarily focus on all the weird stuff there. It makes no sense, right? You know, we have our thing, and then we also have, once I complete this system, I'll complete a system for the Kingdom of Elohim. I don't know, maybe in 3-4 months after this one's going for a while. Maybe I'll do it in January or something like that. I've got a really hot video coming that can make you like millions of dollars like that. But it's not going to work without this stuff working. So we got to get this stuff going first, or that video won't work. Right? That makes sense, because I got to build the story first, the prosperity story for that. So basically, you know, refer your friends to this. Say, hey, you just got to check this out. You know, whatever. And then that affiliate program and all this stuff. It's going to take a little bit to get going. All this stuff. Okay, I just want to let everybody know it's going to take a little bit to get that going. If you're seeing this video now, because I'm building it like one day at a time, and I'm figuring out how to use all these like softwares and stuff I've got on my blog as I'm making these videos. So this video, and a certain amount of these videos, No. These videos are generally going to be probably free. Okay, so that's what I promised. Okay, but there might be some of the videos that are half of the post or something is only valuable if or you're in the Kingdom Club or something like that. Okay, so and then you get also top secret content, and there's content and stuff like this that you're going to get. So I encourage you to join the Kingdom Club now. So why should you join the Kingdom Club? Okay, let's talk about that here for a minute. Okay, so why is it that you should join the Kingdom Club now today if you desire to do that now? The reason you should, let me explain. Okay, so this is actually enough of an explanation for why you should join it, to be honest with you. You should join it for this. You should actually join it for the books, because these books are going to keep you safe. Let me actually explain these books. Okay, so let me take this first one. Okay, so this first one, people look at this and it's like, okay, is this all you're going to talk about? Because if this is all you're going to talk about, maybe I don't want to join now. Okay, but if you're going to talk about some other things, then we can talk, right? All right. So in any case, so this book, let me explain. Okay, so this book, the reason why you should join is because this book basically explains strategies that. The explanation of these strategies in this book will keep you safe, and it also explains things that are in. I'm never wrong about the future. I've been like this my whole life. I've been accurate about the future since I've been like 8 years old. Even before that, I could predict the future. I've been able to predict the future my whole life. I got 50 seconds left. So this predicts the future. You say, no, this is not going to be all that we talk about. This is this book. So occasionally I'll write a weird book. I'll try to keep it to 1 in 3 or 1 in 5 or something like that. And the next book is going to be about weird stuff. And the next book after that is going to be about How to Make America Righteous Again, which will be the best-selling book in American history for politics. You'll never see anything best-selling to that book. So you're really going to make a lot of money. So I encourage you right now, pull out your credit card, join the Kingdom Club below. Welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. And in the next video, we're going to talk about the power of vision, I believe, is what it's in there. But we're going to talk about that there. In the name of Jesus, amen.